Stick around for a minute with me and let's see how new technology and science can eliminate a major pest. That's a grapefruit borer, and it's like its name. It eats the grape roots, and then obviously the plants die. In a world of more chemicals, finally at last, we got a product that can eliminate the grapefruit borer and not destroy the environment at the same time. So stick around a minute, give it a watch, and tell me what you think. We've been having a little bit of pressure with grapefruit borers, and we did a little bit of searching around on the interweb and found a company that instead of a pesticide, it's a pheromone, and it'll disrupt the breeding cycle on the borer, and the males will go to these little I've been calling them bread ties because that's what they look like, but evidently they're superimposed or injected, or in some scientific manner they have pheromones from a female grapefruit borer. So the theory is that all of the males will come to here to mate and not go to the females to mate. So after a couple of years of this, you shouldn't have any grapefruit borers because the breeding cycle was stopped. It's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like birth control for grapefruit borer insects. So we were able to get these, and we're going to give it a spin. Anytime you don't have to use a insecticide or any kind of chemical thing like that, I think it's better. So we'll see. I'm sure there'll be a check-in or two on this, but watch me put one of these on and you can kind of see. You can kind of see how they are, just about like bread ties. I don't know, can you get in here? I usually just take it, leave one leg down, and then wrap it. Pictures that I found from this company was a 4-wrap kind of deal. So that's what I've been doing. And then when you're finished, you got something like that. All right, you walk down here with me and we'll do another one just so you can see, a couple of them done. And I'm sure this is by no means the definitive way of doing this, but it worked. It worked online in the picture, so I copied that. But it's fast. It's easy. It's I guess as far as environmental, it's pretty low impact. I guess the real deal is does it work? And it's too early to tell that, but we're going to use them. We found them, we bought them, and we're going to put them out, and then we're going to look for grapefruit borers, see if we can see them and find them. So maybe this is the ticket, who knows? I was reminded by the farm manager that I didn't tell you the time of the year, and I guess since these have a shelf life of a couple of months, you put them out real early before the grapefruit borers come out, you've wasted your deal. And if you put them out too late, then they've bred and it doesn't matter. So you kind of got to watch here where we are. I usually start seeing things like that somewhere about the first week of July. And so I'm a little ahead of that. I've put them out all over the Muscadines, and my goal was to get in here about a week before there was any pressure from the grapefruit borers. And I believe I've done that. I haven't seen one yet. So somewhere around 4th of July, and it ought to go through September. So I think we're in the sweet spot on that. Again, I don't know when I start seeing them. We got a new, it's not a pesticide, but it's a pheromone. And I jokingly call them bread ties because that looks like the delivery system is on a piece of, looks like a bread tie. And for grape root borers, a neighbor of mine had a whole vineyard full of muscadines pretty much eat up with grape root borers. And so I found these little things from Isomate GRB, I guess that's grapefruit borer, Z. It's a pheromone. I don't remember which is which, whether it makes the females think that the bread ties are male or the male think that the bread ties are female, probably the latter. But they get attracted to this and don't breed. It's a 2-year process. We did it last year, and this is my follow-up treatment. And here's what they look like. Let's set them up here. And you know, look at them. They kind of look like bread ties. I won't take them out of here till we get ready to put them on, but it's one of the easier things. And I don't know if you use the word organic or what, but it's non insecticide treatment for insects. So I'm excited to get these. This is kind of new technology. I had a hard time finding them last year. I had to call the manufacturer and see who was actually going to have them, and we did, and we ran them down and we used them. Anyway, it's cool, and it's kind of fun to have new science. A side thing that we kind of noticed from this, and it may just be completely coincidental, but we haven't had a lot of trouble out of Japanese beetles this season, and usually we do. When you got 270 grapevines, and grapes are Japanese beetles' favorite food, I've always gotten a lot of them. And this year is it's been eerily strange that there's no Japanese beetles. And I wouldn't say no, very, very few Japanese beetles. And I'm wondering if this pheromone from the bread tie that attracts grapefruit borer males might have had a cross benefit. Maybe the Japanese beetles like these bread ties better than they do their girlfriends. I don't know how that works, but I'll claim it anyway. Let's go out and let's put some on, and we'll go from there. All right, we got the Muscadines, and here's the delivery system, stretchies, and I don't know how this will work. Some of the footage we may mix in from last year when we did it, or this year. I don't know which. Sometimes we'll just take the best footage. So let's walk down here. And there is last year's, and we'll match it. And it is, I know I jokingly call it a bread tie, but it's very, very close. If it was color coded based on the day the bread was made, it would be the exact same thing. But this is fast, and you just go from one to next. And I'm older, so you might ask, why are you putting them right next to the other one that you put last year? And short answer is, so I'll know I've been down here. If I started skipping, I might miss some, and this just works better for me. So I'll start down the row and see you in a little while. All in all, this is not bad. It's fast. Again, last year's and this year's, and you know, you just keep moving down the line. I wish everything could be as easy and as environmental as this. This is a fantastic example of technology. I don't know if it's cheminography or biology, but technology in general being good. It's easy, and it's, you know, takes care of the issue, and I don't feel like I'm covered in spray and poison, and I hadn't breathed anything, and the environment hadn't either. So
it's not on the food we're eating.
It's not on the food we're eating. So I'm really excited about this. As far as I'm concerned, you can come out with a whole bunch of more of them. Hey, thanks for watching, and if you would, take a second to hit the subscribe button for us. It helps us a lot. I appreciate it.